How you guys doing? My name is Christopher Walter. I am an artist. I love the tarot. I love the art that's on some of these cards. And sometimes I feel things or I know things that that I believe is a blessing, or one of my angels is telling me, or just some way I'm connected. Now, 222 and 137.5. This is the imperfect fraction in space time. Okay, so 222, 137. And I'm just like any other man who, I'm a decent man. And this book, it says Conchetta Bertulli. My grandma's name was Conchetta. We used to call her Tina. My art bin is called A.R. Tina. And I want to read this on page 137 to you. Actually, 136 and 137. For the people that have some kind of doubt, or they don't understand what I'm trying to share, or I genuinely have a concern and care for everybody. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But let me read this to you. It says, do dead people watch you when you shower? Now, this one, I thought it was a crazy book, but my sister gave it to me, so it's probably a logical book. Do you ever get the message wrong? I'd be pretty narcissistic if I said that I never get anything wrong. I'm not hearing a voice or words. I hear thoughts. Sometimes a thought is clear and sometimes it's not. Sometimes I get a name, sometimes I get a letter. Only God is perfect. Now, 137. How do you deal with the skeptics? I understand when people are skeptical. I don't care if people don't believe me, but I get pissed off if they don't respect me as a person. Most of us would be upset about that. Early on, I remember this one man, I'll call him George, who was both skeptical and disrespectful. He really annoyed me. He walked in and said, "This is crap." But my daughters made me come. He sat down and I proceeded to connect with his wife and his mother. I gave him their details, names, details of their life, and so forth. He said, "Oh, anyone can get that. This is crap." Today I probably say, "Okay, thanks for coming," but I was young, and I wanted to prove that I was a man, that I was actually connected with his wife and his mother. So I asked him what I could tell him that would impress him. He said, "Tell me what I do for a living." Let me find where I took my eyes off the page. Tell me what I do for a living. Okay. I asked his wife and said, "Your wife tells me that you race horses, but always wanted to sell cars." And I snapped. And he snapped. "No, I sell cars, but I always wanted to race horses." I got the two switched. So I said, "Okay, but don't you see the answer is there?" He refused to be impressed and still claimed that this was crap. I remember wanting to punch him, but now I think it was probably one of my favorite readings. I thought me that it taught me that are always going to be skeptical people. I thought to me, they're always going to be skeptical people. I could have given George the combination to the safe and he still wouldn't believe me. Sometimes you just have to learn to say screw it and move on. In another case, a woman who had lost her husband was having a lot of trouble getting past the grief. Her daughter tried to help her, made an appointment for a reading with me, but she never did it. How do you like that? That's 137. There's your imperfect fraction in space-time. I'm just like anybody else. I'm no different. I'm perfectly imperfect. And like on page, only God is perfect, it says right there. And I don't hear voices. I feel things. So I'm not crazy. I'm an artist. It's my room. I was a trainer. So I wanted to share this with you because people are always like, do you talk to dead people? Or I feel things into a really strong intuition. And I wanted to share that with you. And I was on page 137. And do dead people watch you shower? And other questions that you've been just dying to ask a medium by Conchetta Bertini. Now, Conchetta is my grandma's name. 137 is also not just the imperfect fraction of space-time. It represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Nobody's perfect, guys. We all make mistakes. But if we can help each other, especially the poor lady who had lost her husband, she needed some closure. And if you have the ability to help somebody, I believe that you're supposed to do it. Regardless, I think that's what God made us to do. Again, my name is Christopher Walter. I'm just trying to get it right. Have a great day. God bless.